Welcome to day 28 of the hashtag July postcard play hosted by Carrie the Crafter. And today I thought I would play with the process of collagraphy. I did this collagraph on a stream with Miriam, Art Curious by MMW. And so I'll put a link to Miriam's channel and I'll put a link to the video we did together. And we did a few different things, but one of the things we did was we played with making a collagraph. So I'm just going to read from Wikipedia right now. So collagraphy is a printmaking process in which materials are glued or sealed to a rigid substrate, such as paper, board, or wood, to create a plate. Once inked, the plate becomes a tool for imprinting the design onto paper or another medium. The resulting print is termed a collagraph. So this is a collagraph, or a plate that I just had made on cardboard. It was actually a pizza box, and I just used fun foam. So I had an image that I had created using, well, it's a long process to get to this image, but I just recreated this image using fun foam, cut into, the different shapes. There was a bit of finagling because some of the foam wasn't as thick as others, so hopefully I've learned from that process. And that was the print I got from that using the gel plate, but I also enhanced this gel plate with some acrylic paint and outlining and stuff. So that's the theme for today, and I'm going to try to do this picture, which I made on my digital program called Procreate. So I was just kind of fooling around, and I made this this wacky bird. So I thought this might make a fun postcard. So if we take our viewfinder, I think 4x6, something like that would be kind of fun. And I'm going to do it on this piece of cardboard that was from the end of some sort of art paper, like a pad. So this is nice and rigid. So I'm going to create this collagraph. It's not going to be exactly like this. This is just the inspiration. But I'll just put you on fast forward while I work through that, and we'll probably throw some music in. It's going to be pretty straightforward, and then we'll try to print it on the gel plate and see what we end up with and how we have to kind of alter it afterwards. here we have our Collagraph, and as you can see, I just used tacky glue. I used tacky glue to glue down my foam pieces. I added a little bit of detail just with a pen, because it does make an indent in it. I might have to, we'll do a print, see how it looks. If there's some areas that need to be, oh, I forgot to glue on these little feathers on the top. If there's some areas that need to be touched up, then we can do that. I got ahead of myself there, so I'm just going to finish gluing this on. And I'm just going to leave the background kind of blank for now. There's a risk that it will kind of touch the surface, but we can address that later. I think because I'm doing such a small print, like the 4x6 on this 5x7 plate, I think most of that will be cut out. So I'm not going to worry too much about it at this stage. If we want, we can always put in some stenciling in the background as well. All right, so I got that glued on. And I was trying to be careful not to get glue on the surface, and if I did, I tried to wipe it off just with the baby wipe. All right, so I think I'll just use black paint to see what we get here. Just use our Mars Black Liquitex. I'm gonna roll it out not too thin because we do want some of the paint picked up and some of the paint left behind to give us our impression. Okay, so that's pretty thin. And I just want to make sure that I get the top at least in here. I hope that's straight. I'm going to press down mainly in the center and not so much on the sides where I know I don't have any foam. And I'm trying to go straight down so I don't get a lot of horizontal movement. And there's our little bird. Actually, I'm really happy with that already. See, you get all the texture from the foam. I like him. I think I'm gonna leave the background just black, just to keep it simple. I could have gone in with a stencil or some bubble wrap around it, but I think for this one, I'm just gonna leave him in black. I'm gonna let that dry, and then I think we'll use some pan pastels to colorize him. So I think I'm just gonna wipe this off just to keep the patterns intact for the next print. So the fun thing with these is you can do, you know, more than one print. Everyone's gonna be a little bit different though. It's still a mono print, even though you're using the same patterned board. And then you could add, I could add more stencils in, I could add more mark making in with my pen if I wanted to. Okay, so I got my pan pastels out, and I'm thinking I'm gonna make his little beak orange. That's gonna be our starting point. So the paint's dry. And remember, whatever you put down first is what you're gonna see, so. All right, so we've got our orange beak, and I'm gonna pick him up with white. So I'm gonna leave certain parts white, like the white of his eyes, we'll leave white. But let's give him, or her, let's give him some green eyes. And that's that little dot there, that's gonna be a white reflection in the eyes. So we're gonna leave that alone. Whatever I don't color in, that is going to be white. Do some red, let's do some red. Now if I go outside the line over onto the black, that's okay, it shouldn't really show. And even though we're picking this up with the 4x6, I'm gonna colorize the whole thing. In the future, I might add little wings to him, but there really wasn't room in the 4x6 postcard for little wings. Do the center thing red as well. And we can shade, once we pull the print, we can add shading on top of the pan pastel if we want. So I'm just going to, again, go to fast forward while I colorize him. Just gonna add, when I pick it up, I can see where I don't have the pan pastel. And with the green eyes, I'm just gonna add a little bit of the turquoise to fill in the areas that the green missed, just to give his eyes just a little bit more interest. And I see that the orange isn't quite to the edge, so I think I'm gonna add just a little bit of the red, just to fill in any areas there, just to kind of make it a bit more cohesive. So his beak's still gonna look orange, but where I missed along the edges, we'll have just a hint of that red, I think. All right, so I think I'm ready to pull this. I thought about using that metallic white, but I think I'm just gonna use just a regular white. And just to repeat, if you don't have pan pastels, you can use eye makeup, as long as it doesn't have like harsh glitter in it. You don't want to scratch your plate. And this is a dry medium, so it's pretty much ready to pick up right away. I'm just going to put my pan pastels away first. Okay, so instead of picking it up with the 4x6, I'm going to just pick it up with a watercolor paper, a thicker watercolor paper that I cut to about 5 1/4 by 7 1/4, and I'll just pick up the whole thing and then we'll cut it down afterwards. That way I don't have to worry too much about my placement. I can just pick up the whole image. And we will have a ghost print afterwards, which I'll pick up and probably add to it and put it in my giveaway coming this week on Wednesday. I'm having a big giveaway at my live stream, so if you can make it to that, I highly recommend it. So we're just putting this paper on, give it a good rub, and I'm gonna let it dry, and then we'll pull our funky chicken print and add our number. Okay, so it's been a few minutes. I think it's ready. Let's see what we got. There we go. I like him. He or she makes me smile. There's our chicken. We're going to cut him down to 4x6. Finished card. We cut him down to a 4x6. I added a border just using a Sharpie acrylic bullet tip. I stamped the number 28 onto the bottom, and you can see all the fun grunginess. I like, what's fun about the jelly plate is that you don't get perfection, and I think that's what I enjoy about it. It gives it character. And now that I have this Collagraph or calligraphy plate. I don't know what you call it. Now that I have this, I can add some wings on it. I can make some bigger prints. I could add, do it again in different colors. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you give it a try. And I hope you're enjoying the hashtag July Postcard Play. And thanks again to Carrie, the crafter, for organizing this fun event. We're almost near the end, and have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow for day 29. Bye-bye.